Coming up on this episode of Coordinated.
I am hoping you can share your favorite story about a transfer student.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, Derek, and I remember it like it was yesterday.
Greetings, AP coordinators. Welcome to Season 4 of Coordinated.
And welcome to a new school year. Season 4 of Coordinated will help ensure it begins on a high note for AP coordinators.
I'll provide step-by-step guidance, navigating from initial planning at the start of the school year through setup of AP registration and ordering, student enrollment in class sections, all the way through the final ordering deadline in mid-November. Those are just some of the highlights. We have a lot to cover.
And I, along with other AP coordinators, all share some of our favorite tips and tricks that have helped us more efficiently manage our AP programs.
Derek Cometa here, former AP coordinator, now Director AP Coordinator Experience for the AP program.
And I'm Rachel McBride, AP coordinator and school counselor at Mayfield High School. Welcome to the podcast for AP coordinators.
Welcome to Coordinated.
Hello, AP coordinators. My name is Claire Lorenz, and I'm on the AP instruction team at the College Board. Over the past several years, we've had the chance to work with amazing AP teachers and higher education faculty members to create resources that support instruction and learning in all AP courses. AP teachers have access to these resources through AP Classroom. Thanks to feedback from teachers and students, we've made it easier than ever for AP teachers to use AP Classroom in the 2021-2022 school year. Each course is now organized into clear categories. Course resources are aligned to course content and skills and include AP daily videos, topic questions, and progress checks. The question bank allows teachers to build custom assessments for their students. My Assignments stores all assignments in one place, so they can be easily accessed for planning and review. And My Reports can help teachers identify areas where students demonstrate strength and areas where they might need a little more support. Please help us support AP students by encouraging AP teachers at your school to check out all AP Classroom has to offer. Teachers can easily access the instructional resources by logging in at myap.collegeboard.org. And for more insights and best practices for using AP Classroom, there are videos on our AP Educators YouTube channel that can be watched anytime, anywhere. We'll put a link in the show notes of this episode for you to share. We hope you'll help us spread the word about how AP Classroom resources can support student learning. Take care, and thank you for all you do.
Hello, Rachel.
Hey, Derek, how are you doing? I see you bouncing and bobbing on camera over Zoom.
I'm just getting warmed up for the sprint to the finish line, to the final ordering deadline of November 15, 2021. These steps to success have been great, and I'm ready to run to reach my goal of submitting the AP exam order and embracing that coveted sense of accomplishment. That is my favorite part.
I completely agree. But how about we transfer some of your energy and enthusiasm into our podcast episode? Because, we have a lot to talk about. Transfer students.
Transfer students, I'm sure this will be a moving conversation.
That was so bad, Derek.
It was. Before we start our conversation about transfer students,
podcast timeline reset.
Rachel, you've read my mind once again. So we started season 4 with episode 68. That was about initial planning as the school year began.
And we continued forward with our Steps to Success theme, guiding everyone towards initial student enrollment, a checkpoint that many coordinators have crossed by now.
That's true. But we do know that some schools started the year more recently, and we also know that some coordinators, well, they may have more recently assumed the role of AP coordinator at their school.
And welcome aboard.
So if you'd like to walk through those steps to success for student enrollment, we would recommend going to your podcast feed and listening to episodes 68 through 75.
And then in more recent episodes, we talked about collecting AP exam fees, exam-only sections, changes to student schedules, and now,
transfer students. And there's good news right from the start. Coordinators are able to adjust exam orders for students who transfer in or out of their schools without incurring additional fees, regardless of when they enter or leave the school.
Key phrase there, without incurring additional fees.
Exactly. Rachel, let's start with transfer in. Students who are transferring into your school. Definitions first. What are we talking about here? Transfer in is an action the AP coordinator takes in AP registration and ordering when a student transfers from another school to your school and will be taking an AP course or AP exam. This includes a transfer student who was not enrolled in a class section for the subject at their previous school.
Good point there. I recently had this happen for the first time. I had a student transfer into my school. They were excited to have the opportunity to take AP US Government, and my school offers it. Their former school did not.
And so, Rachel, who handles a transfer into your school? I'm guessing it's...
Yeah, it's me. Only the AP coordinator can execute transfer actions in AP registration and ordering. That means that the transfer code can only be accessed and provided by the AP coordinator. AP teachers do not have access to the transfer code.
So the transfer action is yours to implement. How do you do it? What's the process?
So students who transfer into my school need to enroll using a unique transfer code. This is not the join code. I repeat, this is not the join code. While it's a different code, it's used by the student in the same way. By that, I mean they use the transfer code to enroll in each of their class sections or exam-only sections. Oh, and those transfer codes, they are section specific. There's a different one for each class section.
Got it. Different code, used the same way.
Exactly. And to access the transfer code, I just go to the courses page in AP registration and ordering. I click Actions for the appropriate class section, and I select See Transfer Code. And Derek, it's important that the student enrolls using the transfer code, not the join code, to avoid any potential late order fees.
You said it's important, so let's say it again. Transfer students enroll using a transfer code, not a join code, and that transfer code means the exam order will not incur any potential late order fees.
Right. One final note on transfer in. After the student has enrolled in their class sections and/or exam-only sections, we coordinators should review the student's information in our exam roster and order the necessary exams. Meaning, if the student transfers after we have already submitted our exam order, we need to submit an update to the order.
Phew.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's transfer in. Did we cross the finish line yet?
Not just yet. We have one more lap to go, and that would be...
Of course, transfer out.
You got it. I'll pass the baton to you now for the final kick.
So, transfer out. Transfer out is used when a student transfers completely out of your school. Coordinators should not use the drop action for transfer students. I'll repeat that. Coordinators should not use the drop action for transfer students. Transfer out removes the student from all enrolled class sections.
And just like with transferring a student in, only the AP coordinator can execute transfer out actions in AP registration and ordering. Only me.
Okay, well, that sounds like you are the expert on how to transfer out, so please take it from here.
Happy to. So, assuming the student transferring out of my school has already enrolled in class sections, I need to set the student's status to transfer out. To do this, I go to the students page in AP Registration and Ordering. I select Transfer Out from the Actions drop-down list next to the student's name. This automatically removes the student from all sections they are enrolled in. It removes the student from my exam roster, and it removes any associated exam fees from my order.
A very powerful action. And if you have already submitted your exam order, please don't forget to submit your changes to complete the transaction.
Yes, the details and all the step-by-step information can be found in My Best Friend.
You mean the AP Coordinator's Manual Part 1, of course.
I do, and we'll put a link to that in the show notes.
And now, AP Coordinators, now it's time to gear up for our newest segment. It's something we're calling On the Road with Rachel. And you might be asking, Derek, what road are we on? Why? It's the road to success, of course.
That's right. We've been steering coordinators along this road with step-by-step guidance. Now it's time to accelerate a bit. And share some tips and best practices from experienced AP coordinators.
All right, everyone. Rachel had to step into a meeting with a student at school, so we are rolling down the road to get a quick story about a transfer student. We're calling on a friend of mine who has pretty much seen it all in his 20 plus years as an AP coordinator.
Hello, this is Bob Palmer, Dean of Academic Affairs and AP Coordinator at Sharon High School.
Bob, Derek Mehta here. How are things going in the self-proclaimed City of Champions?
Derek, things are great here in Boston. It's football season. It's still baseball season. Basketball's right around the corner. And of course, my beloved hockey team, the Boston Bruins, are getting their season started too.
All right. Well, before all the New York sports fans stop listening, the reason I'm calling is I am hoping you can share your favorite story about a transfer student.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, Derek, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I had a student transfer out, and we'll say her name was Kimberly. Kimberly's family was moving from Boston to, of all places, Derek, New York. And to be clear, I had not transferred Kimberly out of AP Registration and Ordering just yet. I was waiting for the official word that this transfer was and had actually happened.
Okay, and that's just the start of the story.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I randomly then got a phone call from the AP coordinator at Kimberly's new school in New York. The AP coordinator, who happened to be new to the role, insisted that I had not transferred Kimberly out because she was unable to enroll in her class sections at the new school. So the coordinator there said I was holding him up.
Oh boy, I think I know what's coming here.
Oh, you may be surprised. Because I politely explained that in AP Registration and Ordering, the coordinator may transfer a student in without the prior school completing the transfer out. In fact, Derek, as you know, when a student uses a transfer code to enroll in a class section at the new school, they're also removed from class sections at their previous school.
Correct. And, if I recall correctly, there is a happy ending to the story?
Oh, yeah, absolutely there is. So most often if an AP coordinator or student states that they cannot join the class section at their new school because the former school hasn't transferred them out, it's likely because they're trying to use a join code at the new school, not the transfer code. The join code does not allow a student to be enrolled in two class sections for the same AP course at the same time.
That is a common misunderstanding, Bob. And I hope you took it easy while you were explaining this. No need to ignite the Boston-New York rivalry.
Oh, of course, Derek. I calmly and compassionately walked the new coordinator through where to view the transfer code in AP registration and ordering. He found it, gave it to Kimberly, and Kimberly was then able to enroll in her class sections.
Well, that is probably not the first time Boston and New York did not see initially eye to eye, but I'm glad everything worked out this time.
Absolutely. And even better, Derek, Kimberly emailed me in July to let me know that she'd earned a 5 on her AP exam, which is really amazing considering she had that transfer between schools, switching teachers halfway through the year. So kudos to Kimberly. Great job.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you for sharing, Bob.
You're welcome. And I would say it's not just amazing, Derek. Knowing you as I do, I think you'd probably say it's good as gold.
Season 4 of Coordinated is co-authored and co-hosted by Derek Cometa and Rachel McBride. Derek also records, produces, and engineers the show. Our executive producer is Edward Biederman. Our podcast logo is courtesy of the amazingly talented Amy O. Amy is enjoying her senior year at Savannah Arts Academy. We thank Jackie Ray for our theme song, Good as Gold. Jackie is a former AP Music Theory student at Oakton High School. Additional vocal support by Carly Suge, AP coordinator at Costa Mesa High School in Southern California.
And a special thanks to all my colleagues in the AP program for supporting the show and spending time with us. And AP coordinators, we cannot say it enough. Thank you. We appreciate you, and for all your support of AP students, you are truly good as gold.
And maybe I just don't know. I'll say it over and over and over again till I believe it's so. I'm good as gold.